Greetings and salutations, my fellow Diecaster Blasters. This is Peak Speed Lab. I'm Strick. Welcome back for another episode. This is the place, the lab, if you will, where gravity and mass meet friction and the ramp decides the results. Now, hopefully you subscribed. If you haven't, think about it, because look at these juicy bits that I picked up off of. Most of these are off eBay that I'm going to be doing later. Not right now. The Batmobile 1966 version is my favorite car. This is my second favorite, is actually the Mach 5 Speed Racer, old school. So we're going to be testing those in a future video. And hopefully, if you're a big Speed Racer fan, we got Racer X, we got Mr. Terror, we got some of these, you know, special cells, coins, etc., and different versions of the Mach 5 and some of the other vehicles there. Okay, so hopefully you're subscribed and you won't miss on any of the special tidbits that we have, including when we hit 66 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away the Batmobile Silver Series. This set, not is this the one? Yeah, I think this the one that's not open. I have one that's open and one that's not open. This is the one that hasn't been opened, because I'm using the one obviously that's been open for videos, one of them already. Anyway, we'll put that aside. So let's get to business. I think today I had mentioned birthday recently, not gonna get into it too much, but my parents sent me a batch of cars from different brands, including, I mentioned this in another video. I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly. Yewkou. This is I guess a brand from China. So this is a new one we're going to enter in the lab. Now this is a 12-pack set, and I don't really see what is in here. So we're going to unbox this together. And then what I'm going to do is, since it's a 12-pack set, we'll probably run 4 at a time, because I'd like to keep the 2 middle lanes not used. Not that we have that much of an issue with that lever, but sometimes it can be a little close. So I'm going to do my best to do up to 4 car races at a time, unless there's some sort of really special thing, like I want to do all the Speed Racer stuff at one time. And then the other thing is, again, we're not really comparing all of these vehicles to the sets that they're in, to the makers that they're in. We're looking at overall performance, starting with a short form drag strip right over here, which we'll be at in a little bit. And then I'm hoping literally the next couple of weeks, we're going to start running the 1/64 scale quarter-mile drag strip. I'm going to do 2 lanes on that. So I'm waiting for a couple of pieces to be delivered, and then we've got a couple of events here, graduations coming up and going away parties, life happens. But we're going to, once that gets through, I can build the set. When we come on and we do that, I'll talk about the geometry of it, the reason behind it. And again, for that particular test, we are looking for miles per hour / kilometers per hour by the end. So whenever each vehicle has its max speed, that's what we're going to take. And they're going to get 2 runs, 1 on each track. So if I have 2 side by side, just to make it interesting, as you see them racing against each other, but they're still competing on an individual basis. I don't want to say competing. They're still being tested. How about that? They're being tested on an individual basis. And then we'll do the ranking of the top 10 with plastic wheels, top 10 with rubber wheels, and then we're just going to keep a running top 10 list. And then down the road, this may be still a month or 2 out, I don't know yet. I'm looking over where the other test tracks are going to be. The other one will be forward distance, and then they will get scores relative to, well, how they scored, where they score, what their times were. So short form drag strip is lap time. The 1/64 scale quarter-mile drag strip is miles per hour / kilometers per hour, so speed. And then the distance will be distance. How far can they go? And on that track, I'm going to have it set up in such a way that we're going to see how well vehicles can maintain their momentum or how poorly they bleed off their energy. So we're going to have, obviously, gravity fed is going to start it, down ramp, probably into an up ramp. Again, that track is going to be inspired by John Racer 3. If you don't know about his YouTube channel, I'm sure you do. If you're watching this one, you know about his. He does King of the Case. He does some other really good races that are very interesting. But what I'm going to do is have down ramp to get its speed, up ramp, see how well it can keep its momentum. Then we're going to go into probably like a left turn into a slight S, like a little slalom. Again, that's going to impact their speed. Hitting to a down ramp, making then down near the bottom right turn to come back and see how far they go. So I want to see how they do with, turning left, turning right, S, how well they keep their momentum, et cetera, et cetera. And then as we get through as we get the cars, I should say, through all of these tests, then we're going to, like I said, rate them in the two categories, rubber tires, plastic tires. Okay, enough of my yakking. I'm sure you all would like to see kind of what's in this case. We're going to unbox it together. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We'll figure out, I don't even know what's in here. This thing hasn't even been, well, it's kind of open, but I haven't actually pulled anything out to look at anything. It's just the way it was packed and shipped. So we're going to, I don't know, look at 4 cars, see which 4 we're going to test today. Here's information on the back. Well, you know what? I'm going to show it to you after we turn around. All right, so I want you to stick with me here. And remember to subscribe, hit the like button, please. Hypnotize. Okay, here we go. The set, alloy car model gift set. Speed, this says Speed Racer Series. So I don't know if that's from the show, because I think the show was a Japanese show back in the day. I watched it just every day. And while I raced my Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars around the thing. So you see the alloy car models, variety of designs, vibrant colors, alloy material, etc. You'll see where it was manufacturer. We've got different areas here. Or was this? Yeah. Oh, manufacturer. I don't know how to speak Mandarin or Cantonese. I'm not sure what language or how they pronounce this. Shantou, city, etc. District. Manufacturing address. So this looks like these are all going to be made. You know what? These are made in China. That's where country of origin is what I typically will use. Okay. Unless I have more info, that's what I'm going to use. So, and even here, note, pictures are for reference only. Please refer to actual product. Well, how about this? Let's do the actual product right now. This is the part that was already open, but like I said, I haven't even pulled these out to look at them, so I don't know what we're getting into. So your guess is as good as mine. Okay. I'm going to set this aside for now. Okay, these cars actually look like they're in pretty good shape. Look at that. So now the question is, what do we use? What do we want? What are we going to do here? Again, in the end, it doesn't matter, but I want to make it interesting for folks. So I'm thinking something that looks, how about, I was going to say more every day. So you got, we did the Porsche one. I don't even know if these are going to have the brand names of the cars. So how about we do red, green, we'll do yellow, and we'll just do blue from the stack. All right, we got 2 convertibles. We'll save the rest of these for another time. And let's see where they are from as I try to figure out a place to set these cars. Okay. These cars do feel pretty light. They feel like they... So I do not see any information about... Well, let's just do these up close. So these are very light. Looks like pretty decent tires, wheels. Not really sure much what to say about them because there is no information on the bottom. So I'm going to just label these. I'll have to figure out how to label these in the file, in the spreadsheet file. So there we go for the blue. Now we have the green. Again, no info. We'll just do kind of a quick, this looks very 928-y, 928-like Porsche-wise, doesn't it? Here we go. Oh yeah, didn't show the top of the other one. Gotta show it from the top. We're still giving respect to the folks who made these cars, inspired them, all of the things, so that we can have this for the lighted spinning pedestal back there later. Okay, this is looking very, I don't know. Would you say Acura? Lambo-ish? Maybe Ferrari-ish with the red sparkle, although I'm sure there would never be a red sparkle. Oh, huh. I don't know what that would be. Huh. This one has a little knob on the bottom. Not sure what that's for. Okay. Then we have the other convertible. I will have to really label these well so I know what I'm going to be dealing with when we put them in the when I put this stuff in the file. Not much to see again on the bottom. Pretty standard stuff. Let's see. I like to see how these roll typically. Oh. Uh-huh. Wow. Okay. I'm not I got to tell you, to be honest, I'm not expecting much from this brand, or at least from this batch of cars. But doesn't matter what I'm expecting. Let's see what the ramp decides. So I'm going to say, let's get these weighed in and get them set up on the track. Okay. There we go. Just finished weighing these vehicles in from this line. Yewkou or Yewkou. And we have two cars that actually are in the A weight class, the absolute lowest weight class, and two cars that barely made it into the B class. These are plastic tires, plastic chassis, no names under them. So I'm just sort of like in the file, I'm using their color and what they sort of look like to me, what they resemble. So I might say Lambo-like, Ferrari-like, along with their color, so I can kind of keep track of these cars. I'm not going to have a whole lot of hope for how they're going to do because a lot of axle play, not that we're measuring that anymore, but we're still measuring hub to hub. So there were some interesting differences. Anyway, but as with all things, we're about to test them. They're going to get their 20 warm-up laps, followed by their 10 official laps. So let's turn around, as always, as we get to watch the very first lap that these cars are going to run. So thanks for staying and hope you enjoy. So we're seeing, we're just going to make sure that they're seated properly. So these are the four for lap one of their 20 warm-ups. See how they did. Wow, yeah, that's pretty slow for plastic, and then light. As we've seen, though, when I was rolling them initially, the cars did not roll too well by themselves. So we'll see what they do after they get their other 19 laps in. We'll be back. So we just finished up the 20 warm-up laps. These little cars are growing on me. They held up pretty well. I mean, they're crashing. They're running pretty consistently. Every once in a while, you get a sub 2-second lap, so they're not really the fastest, but they do look pretty good, and they're holding up pretty well at the end after they hit the stopper past the finish line, past the finish gate, hit that stopper, and then kind of bounce back. So no issues. They look cool. All right, so we're about to flip this around. We're going to do our official 10 laps coming up right at you. So enjoy this very colorful display of 164 die cast happiness. All right, let's get to it. So here we are, lap one. We're running 4 cars out of this set. We don't know what the car models are because the manufacturer doesn't include that information. They're just cars. And then it says the series is Speed Racer series, but I don't know that it's Speed Racer. It's more like a Speed Racer kind of thing. So here we go. We get lap 1 of the official 10, about to get started with it. So here we go. It's been a pretty good battle between this blue one and the green Porsche-like one. They've been going back and forth. So I expect to see more from them for the next 9 laps. So I think this is lap 10. I'd been counting the laps. So I'll go back and look at the footage. But either I messed up the count or the Play Robotics timer messed up the count, but it's showing this is lap 9. And I thought we would have had lap 10 a couple laps ago. So I'll check the footage. Doesn't really matter. We're still doing averages. But, you know, this is going to be a lap 10 official, about to be in the books. Yep. As if you saw, the battle between these two lanes here, pretty steady. All right, we're going to plug the info in and see where they fall. Welcome back to Curbside here at Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass definitely met some friction. A lot of friction. Anyway, the ramp decided the results, what we saw of the 4 cars. The red, what I'm calling this Lambo-Like. I mean, to me, that's kind of closer. The average lap was 2.060 seconds. In lane 2, this yellow, I did the Ferrari-Like just because of the way the back looked, convertible. And this was the slowest, 2.5104. Yikes. Pretty slow. And we noticed that too when we were rolling them out. The green, which is like sort of the Porsche 928 like, 1.9704. And the blue, I call this like the Dodge Charger convertible like. I'm not really sure, but this was 1.983. So the green came in first of these heats, right? Of these runs. The blue was behind by like less than 100th of a second average. So these two were really close. They were battling it out the whole time. And again, we're looking for overall performance, not speed, but still, this is going to be an indication maybe of how they're going to do, perhaps, down the road. In the meantime, I think we need to, as always, respect the vehicles, the people who made these, everything that went into them, by giving them their moment of glory on the lighted spinning pedestal. How about we do that? Let's do that now. Let's gather around, everyone. All right, here we go.